are the Insiders, and man, are we excited to be here today.
It's a party, baby!
Yeah. It's sell or no sell time, guys. You know how this works. If you like it, you're going to sell it. If you dislike it, you're going to no sell it. And of course, as always, we'll have your question as our last one of this. So start thinking up a good question for the end of the segment. So, Jeff, what's topic number one?
Topic number one, real simple. TNA made a mistake by re-signing Tessa Blanchard. Sell or no sell?
Oh, man. Can I take the fifth on this one? And oh my gosh. I'm just going to go with my immediate reaction here and what my gut tells me. And my gut's telling me that, yes, they did. That's what my gut, that's what my gut is telling me, that yes, they did make a mistake in re-signing her.
Sorry,
yes.
I hit the wrong thing.
Yeah, that's what my gut is telling me. I may be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Because if I'm not wrong, it could be a detriment to their company really moving up and really doing some very, very great things in the future. And I hope that's not true. But I'd like to say I want to wait on it, but for the sake of the fact that we're doing sell or no sell, as far as right now, I'm going to sell it.
Yeah, I think they did make a mistake. Maybe, well, there's a caveat here for me. I think they made a mistake, but I think they made a mistake in how and when they did it. I think if they were going to bring her back, there were ways to do it. Because clearly, to Swag fans' point, I mean, there are a ton of people looking at it and talking about it. She was trending. But there was a way to do it. And I just feel like they kind of missed the mark with how they did it.
All right. Let's see. The chat's going to be good on this one. I'm going to wait, says Swag fan. Sell, says Damien. My opinion, no offense to anyone who wants to sell. Just got to ignore them and move on. Oh, that's that from the last. No sell unless they wanted media attention. Sell, I don't think they needed to take the risk. They were already steadily growing. That's a good point. Sell, says Dylan. Super sell, says Derek. It's hard for me to answer because of other people other than Tessa and how they react. No sell, but I'm holding on to the receipt in case I need to take it back. The video got over 1 million views. See, but Swag fan, that's what I referred to earlier as saying, I don't want that to be a reason. I don't want that to be a reason because that is true corporate America right now. And I hate it. I hate it. I hate it in wrestling. I hate it in podcasting. I hate it in news. I don't want hatred and bad things to bring attention to a company. I don't want that. I don't want it. I'll take the wait and see approach on paper. It's a sell until further notice. I'm reserving judgment. It's why I got off Twitter, because I was able to find out who it was. And I saw this person. Let's just say I have to put pause on them. Tessa, I could go either way with them, but I'll use Mark Mann's quote tonight, one of Bischoff Russo. I've either died and gone to wrestling heaven or woke up in wrestling hell. This is a huge gamble. John G says sell. Blue Sky is a new safe place. Yeah. Well, for now.
Yeah.
Enjoy it while you can, because I'm there on another account and I'm already seeing porn bots. So enjoy it while you can. It's not going to last long. Everybody will migrate over. So
I was just about to say, until the idiots decide that Twitter's not cool anymore. So
yeah, or until they decide that their people aren't giving a damn to them anymore.
Yeah,
that'll be more than likely, because if they realize it's a place where they're not going to get the attention that they want, then they're going to migrate to another place that they think they can. So, yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I hope it works out. I hope we get some answers, and I don't know. Maybe we'll get an answer this coming Thursday. We'll see. But yeah. But anyway, Jeff, moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Let's go to the next topic here. Saturday night's main event was a success in its return. Joe, sell or no sell?
I'm gonna have a bit of a controversial answer to this. And this is only because it's for me and me alone. This is my opinion. I'm gonna no sell this. Do I like the matches? Yes. Did I like the matches? Absolutely. But to me, this was a SmackDown or a Raw. Where was the difference? Love Jesse the Body Ventura. I got to mention that flat off and right off the bat. Love them bringing Jesse the Body back. Jesse the Body, it was like he lost nothing. He still is hilarious. The voiceover and all that kind of stuff. That he sounds great. The reason why I'm no selling it is because this was billed as a nostalgia act. Other than showing some of the wrestlers in the crowd, where was the nostalgia? Where was it? Okay, Jesse, I gave you that. The props for Jesse Ventura, fantastic. Props to calling back Gene Okerlund. But other than that, and showing some of the other wrestlers, I didn't.
Uh-oh. Joe, are you still there? Joe might have frozen, folks. Uh-oh. Joe, you back? All right, that was weird.
Am I back?
You are back, I believe.
Okay.
There
I think my internet's getting goofy because it's getting really windy here.
Gotcha.
Sorry. But anyway, yeah, I'm the nostalgia wasn't there. I didn't see it. I didn't see nostalgia. That's what I was hoping to see. Am I asking for? I mean, there were rumors that Hogan was going to be there, and then I thought to myself, I don't know that they're going to want to do that because that could create more controversy than they want. But I just didn't see it. To me, that could have been a Raw or a SmackDown. And in fact, the biggest part of the show, which was the ending and the part with Cody, they didn't show it. They didn't. I don't know. I know they're going to do it again real soon. They advertised it, but I don't know. I want to see a little more from it, I think. And I don't know, maybe it's just me having an old man moment and thinking that it should have an aesthetic to it or look a certain way, because that's what I remember as a kid. But I didn't get that from it. The wrestling was great. We talked about that earlier. The wrestling was fantastic. And I'm not complaining about that at all. But I was hoping to just, even if they would have thrown me in some old commercials, Jeff, you know what I mean? Like even some old like 1980s commercials or something. I think that would have been cool. Maybe an old WWE popsicle ad. Remember the old popsicles with the superstars on them? Yeah,
but you do one with an LA Knight or someone.
You
do an old school ad, but with a new talent.
Exactly. Yeah, you get one of the current roster wrestlers to come out and do the one of the old school ads or something like that. That's kind of what I wanted to see. But I wasn't really, like, they built it up as Saturday night's main event, which in my head is something. And then when I watched it, I'm like, well, yeah, great wrestling, but you could have called this Saturday Night WWE, change the name, or a Saturday Night NBC special, and it would have been fine. So that's the reason why I'm not no selling it, because I'm not saying it was a success. That'll come from the ratings, and I'm sure it was. I'm sure they probably got a bunch of people watching. But I wanted to see a little more retro, a little more nostalgia, because that's what it is. So
Yeah, I think for me, I'm gonna sell it. I thought that for what they wanted to do, um the name carries a lot of nostalgia, I think, to your point, Joe. And for some of us fans who watched it when it was coming on regularly, it was like, okay, we're gonna get this thing back. And I think a lot of us had that notion that, well, if we have a cage match, we're gonna get the old blue cage back, and some of these other things. Um, but I thought for what they wanted to do, they did a good job. I think this was an introduction back into it, and for some people, this might be an introduction back into WWE that haven't seen it for probably 20 years, 15, 20 years. So maybe they went after some of those folks. I think it was a good way to introduce some of your newer top stars. Not all of them, obviously, but some of them, especially someone like Cody Rhodes. I would have liked I wanted more nostalgia, but I think maybe as we keep going, maybe the next episode has a little more nostalgia. Maybe we have a few more appearances. I am with you though. I am all set on Hulk Hogan. I didn't need to see him there to feel the nostalgia. I was cool with seeing Coco Beware. I love Jesse Ventura. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Could it have had a little more nostalgia? Absolutely. I don't disagree there. But for me, I think with what they were trying to accomplish, I think they hit the mark.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's see what everybody's saying here. Jesse V felt real. Oh, I went all max headroom. Yeah, my internet went bonkers. I wonder if I don't know, the TV's still working. Shocker. It was okay, but I say no sell. Jesse was great though. Sell, only issue I had was the commercials. Sell from everybody there. Conrad, Deanna, Terrence, John, Dylan. Swackfan says I get it, and I can agree that also. Let's see. Go a little further here. Sell, I felt it was 88 or 89. I loved hearing the body on commentary again. Gonna no sell this, but a lot of the stuff on this show could have been Raw or SmackDown, and the cool lights and the special effects wasn't really anything special to me, says Damien. No sell for most of your reasons. I was disappointed with the nostalgia, but this was me going back to 14 years old. See, and that's maybe what I didn't get. That's maybe what I didn't get. I didn't get that. I didn't get that. So, and maybe that's what I wanted. Jesse Ventura's reminded me what was missing from commentary. He felt right backing the heel. Yeah, he was backing Kevin Owens and really rooting against Cody. Yeah. Well, that was always him, and that's was fun watching it. He was just the yin to McMahon's yang, because Mr. McMahon was always the announcer on there too. Mm-hmm. A Slinky commercial. No sell. It's a retro themed house show on TV. Other than that, it's locked in notable momenta. No sell. If it's an ice cream, got to seem more of a tribute to Saturday Night's Main Event, which maybe that's what they intended. Possible. I wasn't around watching wrestling when Jesse was around, wasn't watching wrestling when Jesse was around, and didn't get to see any of his stuff. So his commentary really didn't do anything for me. Just my personal take. No disrespect. My other is the learning tree is Jericho's worst gimmick. Okay. All right. Moving on to topic 3. I think some of you have stuff out there. That's what I'm starting to read anyway. So
I've got one so far.
Okay, let me see. I think I saw one about the learning tree is Jericho's worst gimmick of his career. That's one.
Okay, learning tree. Got that one.
Let me see if there are any above that one. No, I don't think so. There are people in social media whose identity is found in wrestling takes and are intimidated enough to lash out. But obviously there's some. Oh, okay, that's. Does the White Six enter a new member or target someone else after they are done with Final Testament? That's John G's.
Say that.
Haven't watched Saturday Night's Main Event yet.
Say that one.
Does the Wyatt Six get a new member or target someone else after they're done with Final Testament?
Get new. Okay.
Dan has when the international Raws no longer being taped is a good move.
You said Raw.
The international Raws no longer being taped is a good move.
Okay.
Andrew's got one here. Mercedes Moné is the biggest free agent bust of 2024.
Okay.
Derek's got one. Is the Tessa signing potentially the death nail for TNA?
Okay.
I think this might be one from Barry here. Intergender wrestling is morally indefensible in the modern age.
Hmm.
And then Conrad has one. I don't know if you have, how many more you have left.
Well, this is the last one.
Okay, Conrad, sell or no sell, SmackDown becoming 3 hours is excessive and not needed for main roster shows. And then Bonus Baby had one too, but we'll have to put that one in the bank.
Yeah, we'll have to add that one for the next week. So, all right. So here's the
spinner.
Let's spin it. All right. Well. Learning tree. Worst gimmick of Chris Jericho's. Oh boy. All right. Let's talk about it. All right, Joe. Sell or no sell. Learning tree is by far and away the worst gimmick, the worst thing that Chris Jericho has done to this point in his career. Sell or no sell?
I've got to sell this. I mean, Jericho's had so many amazing gimmicks throughout the course of his career. Yeah, that's an easy one, I think.
Yeah.
It is. It's bad, man. It's bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Yeah. There's not much else to say. I mean, the guy that had Y2J, which was one of the coolest, things that, and all the other ones. I mean, my God, going back to when he was in ECW, for God's sake. This is just a epic fail.
I was just about to say, Lil Silver, this isn't even the most creative nor successful version of this gimmick, because we've seen it done in TNA already with Brian Myers, and it was much better. This is not good. I agree. I think sometimes when I say I think as we get older, we tend to try and hold on to things a little too long. And I think we might be seeing that play out in real time with Chris Jericho. I think given what he's done in the business, he should be doing something different at this point. So.
Yep. Agreed. And maybe he'll move on. We'll see. But let's see. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what everybody's going to say to this one. Easy sell, worst gimmick of his career. I've always loved Jericho, but I could care less about now. I could care less now for him. Easy sell. Spin again, please. Sorry, but sell, slam dunk, sell. He's been able to make all the gimmicks work, but this one ain't it. Jericho being a wizard was worse. I don't know. I don't know. The learning tree was originally created in TNA with Brian Myers, but he did it better. Yeah, that's true.
Much better.
I don't know all of Jericho's career, like in WCW. Learning tree stuff is hit and miss. No sell. Big Bill and Brian Keith countered Jericho and made it fun for me. Creative team in ROH AEW, that gimmick for him is horrible. Jericho has gotten so weird, so uncool. Would it be crazy to say that being the learning tree in AEW is disrespectful to Chris, considering how much of a star he is in the wrestling world? Man.
I don't know if it's disrespectful, but I think how it's being done. Yeah, and it is Jericho's idea. So
that's
there's that. I don't know if it's disrespectful, but I just feel like given where he is in his career, maybe that's the point. Maybe he thinks he has another 5 to 10 years. And maybe some of us don't think that. And I think maybe that's where the disconnect may lie. But it doesn't work for me. I'm not a fan of it. If you're a fan of it, cool. Have fun with it. Again, like what you like, that's cool. Me personally, and I never thought that I would say this because, man, did I love Chris Jericho early in his career. And I was around for the WCW stuff. So I remember when he was a cruiserweight and didn't get the respect that he deserved as a performer just overall. Like he should have been one of the top stars in WCW, in my opinion. That's why he ended up going to WWE, doing the whole Y2J thing, and the rest is history. But I ain't feeling it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, there you go. That is the Sell or No Sell segment of our show. Thank you so much for participating. As always, we appreciate it. And we're going to move on to our next segment, Jeff.
It's getting a little toasty. And for those of you who didn't enjoy our comments and commentary on AEW, stick around. Because this question is more of AEW. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so folks can see it, and in its full glory. So I'll read it out, Joe. I find it difficult to find fair and balanced discussion surrounding AEW. Either folks I find are not honest about the faults of the company and give them a pass, or they completely destroy them as if they can never do anything right. Do you think it's possible, and I'm sorry for the typo there, to be fair and balanced when discussing them, or do you think the discourse will continue? That's a heck of a question, and thank you to the person who submitted that, because that is a really good question.
Yeah, look, this can bring up a whole discussion, really, of, I mean, first of all, I guess the best way to answer this is, where they're saying I find it a fair and balanced discussion. I guess what you have to ask the person who submitted this is, who are you talking to? Who are the people that you're trying to have these fair and balanced discussions with? If they're like-minded individuals, then, or if they're, if it's just run-of-the-mill people that are on Twitter, you're probably not going to get a fair and balanced discussion from anyone there. Let's just be straight with that. Because Twitter people can't be fair and balanced. They have to pick a side. That's the problem with Twitter. They have to pick a side, right? Because they have to champion a side. God forbid you like more things than one. So I think that's part of the question. Because if that's where if you're seeing it from there, then I have to agree with you. I can only go by personal things that I've done, and some of the things that I've put out on social media about them, I got just like I can't even remember the one that I stuck out there. It might have been, oh my gosh, when was it? I don't know. It was something that I put out there about Tony Khan. And I don't even remember what it was anymore, but I got like so many responses from people that, number one, had never followed us, have never been to a stream, that just wailed on me for me saying something about that, and calling me like WWE Mark, calling me a.
Did they call you an e-drone? Because that's one of my favorite. I'm being sarcastic.
They might have. They calling me like what do you know? You're just an old dude. You don't know anything about this. what, blah, 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 just constant bashing to the point of where I had to take the tweet down. So I guess they got what they wanted. So I've only ever had interactions like that a few times. And I'll be honest, I try to stay away from commenting about it. Even when I was watching it at first, when it first started, and I would put things out there, I backed off because of that. So, is it possible to be fair and balanced discussion with them, or do you think the discourse will continue? I think it depends on where you're having the discussion. To answer your question, 100%, that's what I'd answer. If you're trying to have a discussion like this on X, no, don't bother. Don't bother, because you're probably going to just get the worst of the worst, and not the people who want to have a fair discussion with you. So maybe I would tell you to have a discussion with a friend group, have a discussion with a group of people that maybe a little better, that are I don't know, maybe coworkers who watch WWE and watch AEW or watch other forms of wrestling. Maybe do that, but I definitely would not advise you to try to start discussions on Twitter, because Twitter has devolved into the worst of the worst. It just really is. And so that's what I would tell you. Where you're trying to have a fair and balanced discussion is what I would ask you. And if it is Twitter that you're talking about here, will the discourse continue? 100%. 100%.
Yeah. So. We're not ready to have the conversation of where the tribalism started and who I kind of blame for some of that. We're not ready for that conversation. What I will say, I will echo a lot of what Joe is saying here. It all depends on where you're looking for that information. I will say this. Some of the larger, and I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to anyway because I don't care anymore. Some of the larger content creators, I would just say, look at how they cover it, and not just now, but go back a few months. Go back to maybe a year ago and see how they covered AEW compared to now. That'll tell you a lot about who you can trust in terms of a content creator. I would offer you someone like Conrad if you haven't checked out his channel yet, as a place to go. Unfortunately, Joe, I think that the discourse is going to continue. I think it's here to stay, and I don't like saying stuff like that, but I'm just gonna, since I've said a lot that I shouldn't have this evening, I'm just gonna say it. You know what the AEW versus WWE tribalism reminds me of? It's something that we just went through as a country. It reminds me of the left versus the right in the political arena, because no matter what the other side said, the other side is going to have a problem with it. And it seems as though there's no common ground. It seems as though both sides have conspiracy theories about the other side and how the other side is responsible for this or that or whatever. And I just don't think that we are at a place in society where people can just agree to disagree anymore. Just being perfectly honest. I don't think that people can just even be like, okay, cool, that's your opinion. That's not my opinion. We're still cool. I don't have anything against you. I don't think we're there, because I think people are so wrapped up in being at odds with one another and their side just has to be right, that there's no room for people in the middle who really agree with some of the things on both sides, but they don't subscribe to one side or another. They're more neutral. They're more centrist. And what I've found in wrestling is that you can't be centrist. You either have to really love WWE, you have to really love AEW, or you're an effing weirdo and you watch TNA. Count me as a weirdo.
Right.
But I watch all of it. So I'm one of those weird people who can enjoy things from everybody. But if it's something that I don't necessarily like, I can admit that, and I can criticize without being a dick. I can offer constructive criticism. Now, how other people take it is up to them. I just want what I watch to be entertaining. Because if I'm going to invest 2 hours of my time a week, or 3 hours, or 4 hours, or 6, I want it to be worth my time, because there are a lot of other things I can do with those 6 hours. So,
agreed.
That would be my advice. Find people like Conrad.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're pretty fair and balanced, even though some people might not agree with that. But I feel like we're pretty fair and balanced. I feel like there are many others who are as well. But it all depends on where you're having the conversation. Because, like Joe said, don't have it on social media, period.
Mm-hmm.
Because Facebook is just as bad as X when it comes to the AEW WWE talk. Like, it's just as bad.
Don't even necessarily have it in YouTube streams either.
Oh no,
because that's even worse. Because now you're going to get personalized updates from people that are in that stream right as you write them. So yeah, it's probably true. It's to the point of where social media is not a place to have discussions like that. It's just not, because you're going to find the worst of the worst. You don't know those people. You're not talking to someone face to face. They can say anything they want, do anything they want. But yeah, it's where it's come. And unfortunately, it's like anything else. I have to chuckle about it sometimes, because like you can go on and make a comment on social media about the craziest thing, and someone will argue it with you. Mm. Like my mom always used to tell me, you would argue that the sky isn't blue. Is like an old timers type of saying, because if she and that's how they are. Like, you could literally say that to someone and they'll argue you about it, just because they live to argue. They want to argue. So yeah, it sucks that things are that way. But social media,
they'll argue with you about your own set of facts and your beliefs, and like their opinion is greater than what your belief system is. So
yes, and that it sucks. It sucks that's the case. But social media has literally become just the cesspool of everything.
Exactly, Derek. That's a great one, Derek.
Say you like pancakes and someone will send you death threats because you don't. Yeah, you're right. Yep. You're 100%. Yep. 100%. Someone will take that way. Yeah, and you're right. It's so ridiculous. I went back to today. I'll tell you a quick little funny story. I went back to today to Instagram because no one uses it anymore, and it's almost like a respite from all the other socials now, because no one cares. The only thing people do with that is they stick like silly pictures of themselves and stuff on there. No one uses it. Like my daughter now, they use like Snapchat, the younger kids and stuff like that. I don't use, but I would go back to a dead medium. Let's go back to, what was the first one? The hell was it called, Jeff? The one before Facebook.
MySpace.
MySpace. Let's go all back to MySpace and go there. Maybe we can get a good wrestling discussion going on there for a little while. It's just, Yeah, it's just sad. Just again, like Jeff said, find the right people to talk to, and don't go on the socials, because you're just gonna pull your hair out. So, all right, man. I believe it's favorite moments time.
Yeah. It is favorite moments time, which will give us a nice departure from
from the
from that conversation about.
We are the Insiders, and man, are we excited to be here today.
It's a party, baby!